that are going to make some special comments dedicated to Judge Gail Bereola.
Simply because I'm a senior, and Gail, at some point you'll be there. At some time, it may take a while. I was born in 1947, and a lot of friends that I have, we do a lot of special things, but we talk a lot about memory all the time, right? There's a story out there about this couple. They were probably a little bit older than myself. They went to the doctor. They had the same doctor. And the doctor says, "Hey, your memory's not with us yet." He says, "You going to have to start writing things down because, you know, it's getting kind of out of hand." So that night before they went to bed, the wife says, "Honey, would you get me 2 scoops of ice cream?" He says, "Fine." He says, "Don't forget to write it down, honey. Write it down, write it down." He said, "I can remember that. Don't worry, I can remember that." 10 minutes later, he came back and he brought her bacon and eggs. And she says, "Oh, shucks, I told you to write it down. You forgot the toast." You didn't get it. Gail, it's a pleasure being here. You know, the story with Gail, when I was probably first, second year college, she may have been 10 or 12. And she came to visit us. And she came with our cousin Sheila and my Aunt Dorothy. We'd never met her. Now, my mother is on the Belfry side of the family. And so even though Gail is a Brewster, but she's got a lot of Belfry in her, right? So when she got there, it obviously made my mother very, very proud, okay? And all she continued to say was, "Oh, she is so bright. Oh, she is so bright, so bright." And I echoed her sentiments, and that's exactly because, as I said in my little pre-talk that Gail sent out on the computer, you know, this young lady, as I watched her come up, she had all these ideas of things that she wanted to do. And as I said in my little comment, she checked them all off, and she did it with style. I tell you, very proud of you, Gail. You made us all happy from Jacksonville, Florida, Charlotte, North Carolina, Dallas, Texas, Terrell, Texas, the home of Jamie Foxx. Congratulations.
Mallory Brewster, and I am one of many of Auntie Gail's. I'm her niece, one of her nieces. And I am just truly grateful, and I just want to thank everybody for coming to celebrate with Auntie Gail for her retirement. Amen. Amen. That is a great accomplishment. I'm going to just move this real quick. That is a great accomplishment. And what I would like to say, I did a little something. And many people know you as the Honorable Judge Gail Bereola. So I put a couple of things together. So J is for just. U is for unbreakable. D is for determined. G is for goal-driven. E is for enthusiasm. And then that's judge, if you didn't catch it. And then Gail. G is for God-fearing. A is for able. I is for intelligent. And L is for lively. And that is Gail. That represents you, Auntie Gail. I remember, and I'll share just a brief little story. I remember my dad, when I was a little girl, used to always say, "You remind me of your Auntie Gail." And I was very little, so I said, "Well, who is Auntie Gail? I hadn't yet met you." So when I did get the opportunity to meet you, I sat there and said, "Well, how am I like Auntie Gail?" And those sentiments that I just shared says so much about you, right? And what I will say is one of the things, or many of the things I admire about you, there's many, but I'm on 2 minutes, so I'll just give a couple. Your tenacity, your perseverance, and the way you love everybody. So I appreciate you. I love you. Happy celebrating of your retirement. That is a new chapter. Enjoy, Auntie.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much. Like to hear it? Here you go.
It's an honor to celebrate your honor. My mama, we ought to give you a round of applause. Miss Gail Bereola possesses the ability to turn a disability into this ability to accomplish what those able have been unable to do. Miss Gail Bereola possesses the ability to turn a disability into this ability to accomplish what those able have been unable to do. To do this speech in 2 minutes feels cheap and too short for a giant from the city who got her Bachelor of Arts degree from the University of San Francisco, her Juris Doctorate degree from UC Hastings School of Law, onto the Army Reserves, then to the U.S. Job Corps, to the prosecutor in the U.S. District Attorney's Office, moving to the East Bay onto private practice, to the bench as a commissioner to the Oakland Piedmont Emeryville Municipal Court in '91, to appointment by Governor Pete Wilson as a judge in the Oakland Piedmont Emeryville Municipal Court. This is long. Then as supervising judge of the Superior Court and presiding judge over the Juvenile Court at the Alameda Superior Court for sport. Coming from Hunters Point to get all the way to this point, let me get to the point. We are witnessing history. You've received wide recognition, but this inside recognition is from your peers, your former colleagues and your friends, your family, your son. Your departure from the bench leaves a dent in time in your seat. Justice feels incomplete without your uniquely valuable perspective as a beautiful black woman. Black women, thank you for this black woman. You are nurture, you are wind, you are gentle, you don't bend when it comes to telling the truth. And whether you're sitting on the bench, on your chair, or on a plane in the air over the beautifully luscious waters of South Africa, Remy, you got the ticket, right? You got her flight? Just kidding. Honorable Miss Gail Bereola, you will always and still stand for justice. Thank you for having us here. Congratulations.
That was so nice. We got to clap it up twice. Let's go ahead and clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. All right, our next speaker is Deacon Michael Johnson. Let's welcome him to the stage with a round of applause. Deacon Michael Johnson.
Good evening, everybody. Sister Gail, Judge Bereola. In my James Earl Jones voice, Malkia Mzuri, beautiful queen. That's what it means. I'm humbled and I'm honored here. I wrote my notes down because I wanted to keep within the time frame that you gave, because you know I can go to San Francisco, to San Mateo, back to Oakland. In any case, Anatime just preceded me with saying part of what I was going to say in terms of your prestigious career in the honor of your 31 years of the Alameda Superior Court. But I, and you'll see in your tribute, I said 40 plus years because I started in 1979, as he made note, when you received your Juris Doctorate from that prestigious University of California Hastings School of Law. And for me, that's where you were launched, because God had a plan for you. And so I just like to share our relationship from a spiritual and from a Christian walk together. We have some Allen Temple members in here saying, yeah, yeah, yeah. Your Allen Temple family's here. Come on, let's give a hand of praise for our own sister, Judge Gail Bereola. And both of us being members of Allen Temple Baptist Church, and we became fast friends. You became a member in 1993. And what I noticed, and I am still attracted to, is that wonderful, humble spirit of yours. Did not know at that time that you were the Gail Brewster of San Francisco, when he said the Hunters Point, Betrayal Hill, Upper Market, the Western District, which was the former Fillmore District in which I grew up, was deemed the West Coast Harlem. Both of us have that in common, and plus we both graduated from the prestigious Eagles George Washington High School, right? I didn't know that, thanks be to God. But I'm gonna say these few words and take my seat. that you are a part of the faculty of the Allen Temple Baptist Church Leadership Institute, where I was first introduced to the work of restorative justice with you and Dr. Fania Davis. It is there when I really took to heart and really took off in the restorative justice program and the industry of being restorative as opposed to being retributive. And I was humbled by you inviting me to be a part of the Restorative Justice Task Force that you convened in 2008. And as a result of that, Sister Gail, that we institute that into the Allen Temple Health and Social Service Ministry at Allen Temple, our domestic violence, our anger management, and our BIP and behavior mind program. But it is because of who you are and what you represent, and sitting next to your king, who's up in glory, looking down to you, the Reverend Gail Bereola. I thank God that you have received your call, that you worked from the bench with a very firm, but a very fair hand, but yet you also are a servant of God and working with God's people, being a part of a lot of the Allen Temple members and auxiliaries that you are part of. And I thank you for giving me the honor to say a few words and remarks on your behalf. I celebrate you, Malkia Missouri, the beautiful queen, the one and only Sister Judge Gail Bereola. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Deacon Michael Johnson. Next up is Attorney Thomas Broom. Let's give him a round of applause.
Hi, I'm happy to be here, all in behalf of Gail.
Step a little closer.
I've only known Gail since about 1977, 78, when she first started practicing law, as I did, and it was a very wonderful experience. Can you hear me now? Okay. And it was a very wonderful experience dealing with her in all of these years as she practiced law, also engaged in a wonderful marriage, and a great person. We visit with her on a regular basis every year at the various parties that we had. Also, I appeared before her in court after she became a judge. And I was very involved in her becoming a judge, which I thought was a wonderful experience in my life because she was a wonderful person. She's a great artistic, idealistic individual with much knowledge of everything on this planet. And I love being near you for these many years.
Thank you so much, Attorney Thomas Broom, and thank you to all of the speakers. We're going to have another portion for speakers shortly, but before we do, at this time we are going to have a photo montage for our honoree, Judge.
Sister friend, as your companion on the shining path of freedom and justice. Words don't adequately express how I feel about you, Judge Gail, aka Tina Turner tonight. How phenomenal you are in the Maya Angelou way. You are truly one of the finest, highest beings I have ever encountered in my lifetime. I say this for reasons too many to enumerate here. What I will say is the one thing that comes up most strongly for me, Judge Gail, is I don't recall you're ever really complaining about anything. You just don't roll that way. With the loss of your wonderful husband, who I miss dearly, of course you grieved deeply, but never felt sorry for yourself. With the persistent and daunting health challenges over the last few years especially, I never heard you complain one time. Though bedridden, immobilized, weeks on end, we were wondering, when was it going to end? I don't recall any grumblings, any expressions of self-pity, or woe is me. You didn't not only complain with words, but Your energy was not a complaining energy, right? I would always feel that innocence from you. I would always see that smile shining through. I would feel that smile even as you laid on your bed for days on end. As if you were silently saying, this is so challenging, but I'm good. I am blessed. I will make it. My faith will see me through. My family will see me through. This is to me, Judge Gail, such a high human quality, spiritual quality, that we could all emulate. What we also love about you, Gail, is that you like to laugh, you like to have fun, and drink a few glasses of wine from time to time. And I remember when you got your new chair and you stood up in it, I knew you were about to break out in a dance. You're so much fun to be around. And one of the many great things about our beloved Reverend Olu is how his constant merriment and glee brought out the spirit of playfulness in you. I gotta also say, thank you, Judge Gail, for being such a good friend to me and a great support for me, personally. Thank you for standing by my side, especially in the early days of restorative justice. And it is your presence, your teaching, your education, and your work that I think is a major factor in the spread of restorative justice in the Bay and beyond. Thank you. I am truly blessed to count you as a friend and colleague. And I wish you a wonderful next chapter, as meaningful and as prolific as the last. And I hope you do all the things that you haven't been able to do as yet in life, although you have accomplished so much. Maybe you'll write, but I don't know. Maybe you don't. Well, you won't write. Whatever you want to do. I know you like to travel, and I know you'll be traveling in just a couple of months to Ghana, to the motherland. So, yeah. So thank you for who you are. Thank you for all that you have done. We love you, Judge Gail. Thank you.
All right, good evening. Wow, can you hear me? So at these retirement dinners, well, let me start this way. There's something special I need to clue you all into if you're not a judge. And we have about 13 or 14 judges here tonight, so I'm not speaking to you. Judicial officers love to say, I don't have a boss, I'm a constitutional officer. Well, I'm the presiding judge of the Alameda County Superior Court, and I was Gail's boss her last year of work. And so at these retirement dinners, you need the boss to say a few things, right? But I'm here with a lot of humility because I was an attorney who appeared in front of Judge Bereola. There's a saying, you can't see it, or you can't be it if you didn't see it. And I have had throughout my career the excellence that I've seen on the bench from Judge Bereola to guide me. I've been chasing your career for a long time. I went to your alma mater for law school. I became a commissioner because I knew you and some others were commissioners, and that appeared to be a path for a young, black, aspiring jurist to the bench. So I owe you a lot. It was people like Judge Bereola and others who in different legal organizations made me feel secure to go forward and try to become a judge like you, to try to be like Judge Bereola. And I want all of you to understand, a career like Judge Bereola's is rare. She has always been sought out for leadership positions. When she became an attorney in 1980, she was already doing it. Already looked at as someone who was a leader within the community. The Charles Houston Bar Association needed to have her as their leader. The Alameda County Bar Association needed her as their leader, but then the courts came and snatched her up quickly. And she's been a leader with us ever since. Dr. Davis talked about some of the great work that's been done with restorative justice. Well, Judge Bereola led our juvenile court division, bringing skills, compassion, integrity, the highest ideals of what we would want for a judge. I mean, think about it. What do you want in your judges in your community? And when you think of that person, and do it now, don't you come up with the image of Gail Bereola? I mean, do you? I can't hear you. Do you? She's always brought not only the compassion and integrity we want from our judicial officers, she's also brought a sense of self. She's brought the person she is on the inside. She's brought her culture with her. And she's used her position of influence to challenge the status quo. That is rare. And she's done it successfully. And she's actually created some institutions that survive today and will be with us for a long time. Because she was a champion and trailblazer for figuring out alternatives to incarceration for young people, realizing long before it became popular that we were over-incarcerating certain populations. She was doing something about it. So on behalf of the 71 judges, the 5 commissioners, and about 550 staff, I'm here today to celebrate a wonderful legal career with some mixed feelings because we know the talent, experience that we've lost. But we all wish you, Gail, tremendous success and especially joy in all the activities and works we know that will visit this next chapter of your life. Congratulations.
Give her a round of applause.
Good evening. Hate following Judge Smiley. I just hate it. He's always so good. But let me try. My friend Gail, I want to thank you for giving me the honor of making a few remarks this evening. You know, sometimes people enter your life and you don't know at the time that they're there because they're supposed to teach you some life lessons that only they can teach you. And that's the case with Gail. We met more than 40 years ago as lawyers, both involved in the Charles Houston Bar Association and the California Association of Black Lawyers and other associations, and we immediately became friends. She's been teaching me lessons all of these years. What I liked about her then and what I have come to admire over all of these years is her ready smile and her good heart, her strength, her resilience, and her determination. A woman of faith, Gail has never let anything deter her from reaching her goals, for she knew that God is in control of her destiny. And when the plane accident happened, Gail seemed to say, "You can't stop me. God is in control." When doctors told her that she'd never walk again, she didn't stop until she proved them wrong and managed to take steps on her own. If she ever got discouraged, she never let it show. She just continued on with a smile and eternal optimism and showing kindness to everyone. Gail taught me never to give into feelings of hopelessness, and instead to take comfort in the fact that God knows what He's doing, and we should all just be obedient and prayerful. Gail taught me how to be a better judge. She once told me about when she was a district attorney in San Francisco handling misdemeanor matters. Gail said every case that she brought up that she had in court, she asked for some time. She wanted 6 months on every misdemeanor that she came up with. And so every time it's like, I want 6 months in jail, I want 6 months in jail. And she said finally a judge asked her, why do you always ask for jail time? A lot of these cases, probation and time served would be sufficient. And Gail said, she asked herself, yeah, why do I always ask for jail time? And she realized then that she didn't have to always ask for jail time, that she could look for sentences that were fair and that fit the case. She realized that she didn't have to try to send everybody to jail, and that realization made her a better prosecutor, and more importantly, it also made her a better judge, because she had the courage to ask prosecutors, why are you asking for this sentence? Justify it. Tell me why I should get this sentence. So Gail, I am blessed to know you. I am blessed to be your friend. You are an extraordinary and beautiful woman inside and out, and I want to congratulate you on your retirement. Let's party.
Gail, this is indeed a celebration. It took people forever to get to the parking lot, but it was worth the wait. I sat at a table with your relatives, Lorraine, Mel, David, Clovis, and they all indicated that they, like me, and like all of your judicial colleagues here, have never heard you scream or shout. You have just been laid back your entire life. In 1980, when you started practicing, there was a woman on TV, the Avengers, I think it was. They called her Mrs. Peel. She wore knee-high leather boots and many skirts, and they said she was the most liberated woman on TV. You must have seen it because you said, move over. There was a lawyer, a politician in San Francisco. Her name was Bella Abzug. She wore wild and flamboyant hats, but they called her Battling Bella. She didn't mince any words, and she said what she thought. And you said in 1980, move over. Without raising your voice, without yelling and shouting, move over. Your career on the bench, preceded by your career as a lawyer, has been exemplary. You've handled the business almost as if a script had been written for you to handle it. Nothing seems to get under your nerves. Not like me. Not like Judge Harvin Forte. Not like George Branco, Judge Branco. Not like all of your colleagues who always have something to say that got under their skin during the course of the day. Nothing bothers you. You were perfect as a lawyer. You're perfect as a judge. And you have been perfect as a colleague. At this stage, I can only tell you this. You are now able to say, I don't want to, I don't have to, you can't make me, because I'm retired. Welcome to a wonderful world of retirement. Thank you very much.
I have known Gail for over 40 years. Olu introduced us when we were in a store in Daly City. And he came over to me and started talking, and then all of a sudden he brought Gail over and we both just started talking together, and we've been friends ever since. Olu frequently would remind us that he introduced us, didn't he, Gail? So my name is Francine Hilaire Miller, and Gail and I, as I mentioned, we've been friends ever since. I'm so pleased to be able to share remarks as well as a toast to my sister from another mother, the Honorable Judge Gail Bereola. I'll begin by simply saying, I love you, Gail, from the bottom of my heart. As many of you have experienced, to know Gail is to love Gail. It's wonderful having such a confidant, sister soulmate, and a woman of high integrity to call our friend. We've been through thick and thin, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But Gail, when I think of you, I think of positivity, I think of perseverance, and an uplifting human being and spirit. In a little while, I'd like you to join me as we raise our glass to one of the greatest women I know. And we're going to raise it to your health, your patience, your talent in listening to people. I always feel when we're talking together, you're really listening and you're getting it. And we're raising our glass to your unforgettable accomplishments as a just judge, and you know we don't always have that in this day and age, and a sweet, sensational human being. Gail, as the song said, I'm coming out. As you come out of your previous chapter and into your next journey of your life, remind yourself about the definition of retirement is really, it's an annual toast to the holidays, all 365 days of them. Truly enjoy each day, and let's raise our glass. May the good Lord continue to shower you with abundant blessings, fortune, and inner peace. Here's to our loving sister, who to know you is to love you, and we do love you, my dear sister.
Growing up being surrounded by Black lawyers and judges, I thought everyone looked like that. I didn't know that, at least in 2011, Black people made up only 5.7% of judges in California, not to mention the percentage that is only Black women. With you as my mom, you made the exceptional normal. From you, I learned that a woman could be ambitious. I learned that care and leadership are not antithetical, but deeply intertwined. I learned what it is to be exceptional. For 31 years, you've sat on the bench and served the people of the state of California with analysis, determination, and care. You've held on to your values and stood firm in difficult decisions, even amidst public outcry. You've upheld the law as you were called to do, but you also have explored how you can work through the law to make people's lives better through restorative justice and the collaborative courts. And you've done all of this while sometimes contending with great personal hardship. So this is a toast to you, to your years of dedicated service, and to the years ahead, which belong to you. Congratulations on your retirement. I love you.
Judge Gail Bereola. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. Love you, Auntie. Love you, baby.
Okay, thank you.
Come on with it.
All right, you may be seated.
Love you.
So that I wouldn't forget anything, I made a few notes in my phone. But before I get to the notes, I just want to say you all look beautiful.
Yes, we do.
so happy that my family, my friends, my colleagues, I mean, actually everyone feels like family to me, all in this room, and I feel such love coming from you all, and I love you all as well. And so I want to thank you for being here this evening to celebrate with me. This has been quite a milestone, and I would be remiss though if I didn't do some thank yous. But before I get to the thank yous, I just want you to know that you are, in my book, you are all distinguished guests. Your distinguished family, your distinguished colleagues, your distinguished loved ones. Some of you have come from out of town to be with me. My cousin Sheila, who I grew up with, haven't seen her in a while, and her husband, Kevin, my cousin Kev, and my cousin Gloria, I see her over there. I have so many relatives in the room. In fact, if you all were sitting, I would say, stand up so that everybody can see who you are. Can all of my family stand up? So it's a family affair. It's a family affair. And so I'm not gonna, I see I have a whole bunch of notes here, so I'm just going to selectively go through some things. First of all, I would like to thank all of the speakers for the kind words that you shared about me. I also, someone asked me earlier today about were they too late? I had set up something online because people were asking about gifts, and of course I told you no gifts. I don't need more stuff. I have a lot of stuff. God has blessed me with so much stuff. I'm trying to declutter stuff and get rid of stuff. So I just thought that it would be great if donations could be made to causes that are near and dear to my heart. And so I know some of you have made donations. If you were so inclined, no one's browbeating you, but if you are so inclined, I would feel very honored if you would make a donation in my honor to Restorative Justice for Oakland Youth, and also so that they can continue their work, and also to the Allen Temple Baptist Church Business and Professional Women's Society. I have been a part of that organization for a while, and we have some members here who are also members. And one of our primary purposes is to raise money for scholarships, and we call it Raising Dollars for Scholars. And so if you are inclined to make a donation to Allen Temple, please make sure that you put in the memo section, or if you do it online, that you send it to the Business and Professional Women's Society, and it will go for scholarships. So, in addition to that, the tribute.com, I was asked questions about that. I was trying to think of what would I really like as a gift, and I thought I would like to have a keepsake, something that I can look back over the years and for posterity. And wouldn't it be nice to just be able to look from time to time and see what people had to say? And so today, I believe I received a notice saying that today was the last day. However, apparently, it's not the last day, because it only becomes the last day once I go in and tell them to start editing, which I haven't been able to do yet. And so I was thinking I probably won't do that until maybe Monday. And I'll be able to look at all of the tributes. And so if you have not been able to make your tribute and you would like to do so, you still have time. But on Monday, I'm going to go in and tell the concierge, please start editing. And so I wanted to make that announcement. Then in addition, I want to thank my daughter-in-law, Gail Bereola. who happens to be an event planner. I don't know where she is, but Angela, she's probably just as hardwired as I am when it comes to detail. And so we were a good team working together, putting this together, because she would help me to remember things and keep me on track with all of the things that I needed to do. And I really appreciated that. And so thank you, Angela. And I also want to thank my daughter, Abigail, and my niece, Georgia, for assisting Angela in checking you in, making sure that you had your meal tickets, the right meal tickets, making sure that if you had dietary restrictions, that we were aware of that and could give you the appropriate ticket. So thank you for all of your help. And in addition, I'd like to thank my grandson, Dejan, for putting together this slideshow. I don't know where Dejan is, but he put together the slideshow. I asked him, he's a computer scientist, that's what he majored in college. And I asked him if he could help me put a slideshow together, and he said, sure, Grandma, just send the pictures. And I did that, and we went back and forth a couple of times on just tweaking it, and he did a beautiful job. So, thank you, Dejan. And then I want to thank Darius Riley, who is the videographer here. I have yet to see what he does. However, I did look at his website before I retained him, and I saw that he tells a story, and he makes everything look like it's fun. And I appreciated the fact that he owns his own business. It's called Ours Voices. H-O-U-R-S, Ours Voices, V-O-Y-S-E-S. And we also have a photographer, and I'm trying to think. Victoria Bancole. And she works with Darius. And Darius, I understand, has in his shop, he has whatever you need in terms of videography, photography, etc. He does that all. And so once he finishes everything, he'll be able to share pictures with me, and I will send that out so that you can look at the website and see what he did capturing this event. So thank you, Darius. Thank you. And then I'd also like to thank Natalia Tirado. She's not here, but Natalia is a small business owner in Alameda. It's a family business that she has, and she does decorative balloons. And I thought that she did a really nice job. She could have, you can't really see it on my beloved Olu right now because the poster got knocked down, but she decorated him with balloons, and she did the photo booth decoration and all of the other balloons that you see here. And so thank you, Natalia. And then all of the floral arrangements. Yes, and all of the floral arrangements, we have my sister friend, Helen Granger, who is also a member of the Business and Professional Women. There she is over there, Alan Tempo. And she is a florist. She owns a small business called A Street Florist in Hayward. And she put together all of the centerpieces. Thank you, Helen. In addition, I want to thank my son, my eldest son. One of the things that I learned from my husband as the kids were growing up, he never made a distinction. You know, they were just our children. And so even though they are my children of another mother, and their mother still lives, I still look at them as if they are my children. And that is because when they were growing up, they were around. My husband and I, we made sure that they could be around us, that they would go on trips with us, they would go on cruises with us, although I think Nike never got that chance because the time that we went on a cruise, she wasn't there. And so I always regret that, even though she's now much older and an adult. I regret that she didn't have that opportunity with us. But anyway, I want to thank Remy, DJ Rimshot. Remy is a DJ. He played beautiful music. If you ever need someone to play music, he may be available. Get his card, get Darius's card, get Helen's card, etc. But he also is an administrator with the Oakland Unified School District. That's his day job. I also want to thank the staff here at Scott's and Mari in particular, who works in banquet sales, for just making everything go seamless and just letting me know what the process was, making it really easy. Everything has just gone off without a hitch. That's all I can say. So thank you, Scott's. And then finally, in advance, I want to thank the Vibe Society Band. We're actually way into their time, but it's all good. So, and Catherine Ruth, who is the band manager, for the fabulous music that they will be providing us in just a few minutes. And I think you're going to be delighted and will enjoy listening to and dancing to their music for the rest of the evening. Before I stop, I do want to say just a few words about retirement. In the Bible, Ecclesiastes 3 says, "There is a time for all things." Suffice to say, there is a time for retirement. And I have come to see, as a result of speaking with my dear sister-in-law, Bosse, we've talked about retirement. She's retired, and her husband is retired, George. And she was telling me that retirement is really a privilege. And I thought about that and what she was saying. And I realized that retirement truly is a privilege. And the reason that it is a privilege is because we work hard over the years with the expectation that we're going to be able to enjoy the fruits of our labor at some point. However, some of us never make it there. We never get to enjoy. Some of us never stop working, so we don't get to enjoy. And as I thought about that, and I thought about Ecclesiastes 3, that there is a time for everything, I believe, at least this is my opinion, that God saw fit, and He has allowed me to have this privilege and the freedom to be able to retire so that I can do other things. And so God has blessed me to have a long, hopefully distinguished career. Hopefully I've made a difference in the lives of a lot of people. Thank you. And He has blessed me to get to this point. My one regret is that my beloved husband, Olu, that he can't be here with me to share this.
He is here. He's here.
Yeah, he's here in spirit. We talked many times about what we were going to do once I retired. We both love to travel. And so I'm going to continue that. You know, he was my husband. He was my best friend. He was my lover. He was my confidant. He was my protector. He was my cheerleader. And there are times that I do feel kind of lost without him, but I can hear him in the back of my mind saying, "Go for it, baby. Go for it." And that's what I'm going to do. I've decided that I'm not God. In my opinion, I was angry at God for a while, and I would talk to God, you know, why did you take my husband when you did? We had plans. But I'm not God, and I know that we all have an appointed time. We don't know what that is, but he knows what it is. And so I'm accepting of that on the one hand, and selfish about it on the other hand. I'm still working through my anger sometimes with God, and I tell him that. And I'm telling you that as well. That, you know, God has big shoulders. That's what my husband used to always tell me. He has big shoulders, so you can tell him anything. He can take it, and he hears you. You might not be able to do anything about it, but he hears you. He knows your heart. But I'm still going to continue to be faithful. And I know that where there is a will, there is a way. My mom used to tell me that when I was growing up. Where there's a will, Gail, there is a way. And even though she didn't see how things were supposed to happen or going to happen, somehow it always happened. And that's because God has ordered my steps. And so my dear beloved Olu would say, life is for the living. Life is to be lived. And so for whatever years God continues to grant me, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to live my life. So let's party. Let's celebrate. Thank you all. God bless you all.
Everyone clap it up for the Honorable Judge Gail Bereola. Now y'all are in for a treat. While you're on your feet, get ready to move to the dance floor to the best Bay Area in the land. The best group in the land. Let's go ahead and give it up for Vibe Society.